Live on Facebook.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hello, and thanks for listening to Garden City Community Chat, a show dedicated to promoting our community and yours, offering news you can use and much more. I'm Aaron Baker, real estate agent with RE/MAX Cornerstone, and I'm here to introduce you to your host, Carrie Parton, alongside co-host Mike, and of course, Doppler Tom with the weather. And now, Garden City Community Chat.
Hello and welcome to Garden City Community Chat, a show dedicated to promoting our community and yours, offering news you can use and much more. And now, Garden City Community Chat. Hey, thanks for joining us for this special episode of GC Community Chat. I'm doing our show remotely from my studio here in Garden City. Mike is off at home, safe, and Tom will be here shortly. With the weather, he's home safe as well. Tonight, we will be talking about the coronavirus or COVID-19. We're not here to scare anyone or stress you out any more than we already are, but just to give you some facts, good information from our local leaders and business owners. We also want to hear from you. How are you coping? How are your children handling it? We'll be discussing how it's affecting our communities, businesses, and our residents with our guests, Garden City Mayor Randy Walker, Westland Mayor William Wild, and Garden City business owner and resident Mike Ferron. Please share with our listeners how your families are doing as well. So stay tuned for this very important show. Also, Joe Bartley is back with some more tax information for you. Tonight, he's going to be discussing the proposed economic aid package and how it will affect all of us. But first up, Doppler Tom will be here shortly with all the latest weather information for you. So grab your favorite beverage, and we hope you'll join us for the next hour or so. Should be a good one. This is episode 473. It's Thursday, March 26, 2020. I am your host, Carrie, and also joining me tonight, our favorite chat weatherman, Doppler Tom Iwinski. Tom, how you doing?
Doing well. A little rainy outside, but it's all right, right?
Yeah, a little damp, but it was warm. It was nice. It wasn't bad out there. Now, tonight I'm going to I'm not going to list all the cities we reach every Thursday night, but we thank you all for listening. It's a great feeling to have our show reach so many communities. We really appreciate your support. And remember, if your community has any events or messages you want to share or promote, just email them details to gccommunitychat@gmail.com, and we'll be more than happy to announce them for you. Now, if you have any questions or comments for any of us, and if you're watching us on Facebook, go ahead and type them in the comment section. And please remember there is a slight delay, or you can text your questions to 734-788-9319. All right, let's get Tom in here now with the latest check of the weather, and then we'll bring in our guests and spend some time chatting with them. So stand by. We'll get Tom in here. Okay, let's do a check on weather with Doppler Tom. Let's see what he has in store for the rest of this week and the weekend coming up. Tom, take it away. Yeah, a little damp out there, Tom, but not too bad. I mean, hey, it could be worse, right?
It'd always be worse. But yes, like you said, also, it's definitely been warm. We kind of had a pretty nice day yesterday, especially during the afternoon. The sun really did come out, and those temperatures were definitely on the mild side. I saw a lot of people outside, all considering, trying to get some nice fresh air time in, and it definitely did not disappoint yesterday. But yeah, kind of changed a little bit today. We're a little bit on the rainier side this evening, and this rain will continue throughout the evening, and it will start to wind down a little after midnight. This rain ain't going to continue all night. It's going to start winding down, and those temperatures are going to stay on the chillier side. We'll probably get into the upper 30s for overnight lows. So it's definitely going to be on the colder side. And as we get into tomorrow, the sun will try to make an appearance tomorrow, but it's going to struggle. There's going to be more clouds than sun tomorrow. And that's kind of going to be a precursor of what's to come, because we're going to be dealing with a pretty blah weekend, for a lack of a better term. It's definitely not going to be one of the better weekends out there, even with the temperatures. And we'll get to that in a second. As we are going to be talking about the weekend, it's definitely a weekend to be inside. And all considering, we'll probably be inside. Temperatures are going to be right around 60 on each day. The bad news, it's probably going to be rain from time to time throughout much of the weekend out there. Some of that rain throughout the weekend is definitely going to be more on the heavier side. So we'll probably see a little bit more rainfall amounts than we're dealing with this evening. So if that rain comes in a little bit heavier at times and it sticks around, we could definitely be dealing with localized flooding. So not any severe weather really to be worried about. It's just some of that rain is definitely can be on the heavier side. So you definitely can get some ponding in low-lying areas. And that rain will continue Saturday into Saturday night and into probably early Sunday. But the problem is, once that rain kind of winds down on Sunday, the winds will kind of begin to increase, and that will keep the temperatures at bay a little bit as we get into the afternoon and the evening hours on Sunday. So, like I said, for lack of a better term, the weekend will be more on the blah side. So definitely a time to not really do much outside. As we get into next week, the pattern will shift, going to be shifting a much more than will be this weekend. We're going to start drying out, and those temperatures will stay more on a consistent basis, probably back into the lower 50s for high temperatures.
Nice. And
probably still getting a little bit on the chilly side at night, probably in the upper 30s for overnight temperatures. So not too bad of a weather synopsis. If we talk about some weather, there really isn't much going on across the country. The storminess and the raininess will be the bigger issue all across the central Great Lakes and the Ohio Valley over the next few days. And we'll get some bits and pieces of that. But the good news is that there's not going to be really any severe weather with this system, just some heavy rain over the weekend. But if you want to keep tuned to all that, just go to my website, DopplerTomsWeather.com.
All right. Sounds good. Just putting up a few comments from the people that are in the chat room. We got several people in there: Kathy Ward and Patty Fick, Sherry Weatherby Frost, Opal Loveland, Joe Bartley, Cheryl Parton, Mrs. Chat, Darlene Jablonski, Lisa Kuhn. Let's see who else we got. Lana Padat, Lynn Hammond. How you doing? Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. All right, just a quick reminder, our show streams live every Thursday evening at 8 p.m., so we hope you'll set aside some time to join us, and be sure to invite your friends to join in as well. Also, if you go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/GCChat, be sure to follow us, and you'll be reminded whenever our show is streaming live. And while you're there, go ahead and feel free to leave us a review. We would really appreciate it. All right, let's introduce our guests for tonight. With this new format, I'm able to bring them all in remotely, so we're going to give it a shot. First, he is the mayor of Garden City Mayor Randy Walker. How you doing, Mayor? How are you?
How you doing, Kerry?
Good, good. Also, the mayor of Westland, Mayor William Wild. Hello, Mayor. Good to see you.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
We're doing great. I like your Corona beard that you're doing there.
You know, I was growing my beard for our Red Wing hockey game, and
Yes.
You guys know that got canceled, so I guess I have no excuse. I have to shave the beard now.
I don't know. You don't look bad. I'd leave it on for a while. Let it grow. Hey, Garden City business owner and resident, Mr. Mike Ferron. How you doing, Mike?
Hello, everyone. I'm great. How are you?
We're doing fabulous, fabulous. Under the circumstances, right?
Absolutely.
So, welcome, gentlemen. I want to thank you all for being here tonight. I hope you and your families are all well. So let's get right to it. And I'll start with you, Mayor Walker. Life as we know it has changed. It's not business as usual. How has the city and your employees adapted to the changes set forth by the governor? And are there any changes being made to make sure services continue for all the residents?
Absolutely. We still want to give services to our residents in the
Whoop.
we closed City Hall, but they're working inside 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Thursday. There's nobody working on Friday. And then we have split staffs. We have an A team and a B team. They work different days. With the theory, if somebody gets sick on the A team and they got to self-quarantine, then the B team would come in and work all the days, Monday through Thursday. So we're just taking precautions. We got 2 separate teams. Your water bills, you can pay by check or money order in the drop box or mail it in the mail, or you can pay online. But there is a 3% cost for that for the credit card company. 21st District Court is closed, but they also, you can go to the city website and go to 21st District Court, and if you have payments to make to them, you can do that online. I want to go through all the departments real quick. That's what I'm doing
Sure.
now. Clerk Department, 793-1620. 793-1620 is their phone number. Birth and death certificates can be arranged by calling the clerk's office Monday through Thursday. May 5th, we have an important election coming up for the school board. They got a millage election. Due to social distancing, it looks like the state is going to make this an absentee election. So all 21,000 registered Garden City voters will receive an absentee application in the mail to vote, and you should vote. Fill out the application, mail it back, and a ballot will be sent to you. All postage is paid.
Okay.
And ballots must be filled out and turned in on May 5th, before May 5th, before the polls close. Over in our Parks and Rec Department, all programs are on hold until further notice, including our first annual Easter egg hunt. The ice rink is closed, and the ice is being removed this week. If the COVID-19 patients continue to rise, the ice rink could possibly become a makeshift hospital for Garden City Hospital overflow. We've offered that to them. They're considering it, and they are getting very, very full. I know they've doubled up rooms, especially in the ICU. So you could see, once that ice is melted, that's just a cement floor.
Yeah.
So that'd be a perfect place for them to do a makeshift hospital. So we've made that offer to them. That could happen. It's not to say it will happen, but Garden City Hospital, so I talked to Saju George, the CEO. They have adequate PPE at this time. They have had, and they do have patients with COVID-19. If you want to volunteer, they said, please go to the Garden City website and look up volunteer support. That may be driving to pick up masks and gowns, helping them that way, but go to their website and check that out. DPW, all outside work is being completed, again, with smaller staff. They're staggering their employees with A and B team as well. Garden City Police, normal emergency operations, you call 911. Non-emergencies, you call 793-1700. They will likely, if it's a non-emergency, they'll probably take the report over the phone. We're trying to have limited contact with our residents and our police officers. Officers do have PPE. They have mask, gloves, sanitizer. And over in the fire department, same thing, normal emergency operations. 4 of our firemen have been exposed to patients with probable COVID-19 virus. They were all in all their fireman gear, so we're pretty sure they were safe, but they are still, all 4 of them are self-quarantining themselves, and 2 of them are sleeping at an alternate location because they don't want to possibly take it home to their families. So that's pretty much it, what we're doing. Practice social distancing, wash your hands, don't gather in groups or crowds, wash your hands frequently. And Garden City's, we're going to get through this. We're doing the best we can. We're still trying to provide their services, but we're using a smaller staff and splitting them up on working different days. So,
What about council meetings and zoning board meetings, all the meetings that you're?
well, according to our charter, by charter, we have to meet twice a month
Okay.
by law, by the charter. And we can't meet in private. You have to conduct all your business in an open format. So we knew we had to get these road contracts out so our road construction could go on this year. So we had some important contracts to approve last Monday. So we held a meeting outside under a tent, fresh air, moved the chairs a little bit further apart. Instead of bringing everybody into the council chambers close together inside a building, we just did it outside. It worked fine. We may have to do that again. It's with what's going on, there's too many unknowns. It's a day-by-day thing. We're making changes every day. The next meeting, more likely, will probably be outside right now.
Okay. Now, what about the Meals on Wheels program?
Okay, Meals on, I didn't get Parks and Rec, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I did cover some of them, but yeah, the Meals on Wheels still goes. That program still goes. You can call over to the Maplewood Center, 793-1850. That's 793-1850, and they will make arrangements. I'm not sure exactly how they're doing it. Again, everybody's trying to stay safe and do the social distancing, but we are providing all the services we can the safest manner possible.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah, I heard somebody's playing music, a flute or something back there. I didn't know who that was.
That wasn't me.
Okay.
I'm musically challenged, trust me.
All right. Well, thanks, Mayor. I appreciate that. Mayor Wild, I'm going to ask you the same question. How's your city adapting to changes, and what are employees having to do to protect not only themselves but the residents as well?
Well, thank you, Kerry. And, we're doing a lot of the same things that Mayor Walker talked about. In the city of Westland, we've pretty much have gone down to essential services. Police and fire are still operating at full capacity. Over the last few days, actually, since the governor's most recent executive order, we've taken our DPS department, which was roughly 40 employees. We originally had them split into two different units of 20 that were alternating 3 days and 2 days to try to keep everybody separated. Since the governor's executive order, we've actually split that into 3 different groups, and we're doing emergency stuff. We're working on water main breaks, or there's certain lines in the city, sewer lines that have to be jetted, especially in our shop and dine district, because there's a lot of grease that goes through those lines, and if we don't take care of it, it results in backups. Right. So we're basically doing emergency work at City Hall every day. We've closed it to the public. We originally had I called it a skeleton crew at the time, Kerry, but since then we've actually kind of gone down to even less than that. I don't know what you call half a skeleton crew, but
wow.
We're pushing people to do business online with the city. We have drop boxes where we take non-cash payments there. Early on, we really doubled down on our online services on the cityofwestland.com. Right on the homepage, you can click on the COVID-19 button, and it'll show you all the different ways that you can do business with the city online. That's the best way to do it. We're waiving late fees. We do still have people inside City Hall to process those invoices and those drop boxes. Westland we've got a lot of projects going on right now. Mayor Walker mentioned Garden City Hospital, and they're doing an ambulatory center in Westland, and that was one of the things we talked about, is we want to try to keep that construction going through this process, because at the end of the day, that business is going to offer first-class healthcare for our community. So we want to get it open as quick as possible.
Right.
But just in the last few days, we've really tried to skinny down operations where, the more that information comes out on positive cases, I think that we're starting to see our employees get a little bit more worried, and because they have families, and but at the end of the day, we're trying to keep the business moving. keep our vendors paid, our employees paid, try to keep emergency work going. And this weekend, we're going to do a big sanitation of City Hall. We're going to bring in some professionals to do that. We're going to just continue to, every day's a new day. The best place to keep track of what's happening with the city of Westland is on our website, cityofwestland.com. We are very active on social media, Facebook, Twitter. We're using YouTube quite a bit now, and I've appointed our fire chief, Mike Stratner, as our COVID-19, our emergency preparedness coordinator, and he's doing updates every day. So I'm trying to keep communicating with the residents, trying to help them through this process and let them know that we're all in this together, and we're going to get through this, and we're going to be stronger. And at the end of the day, keep emergencies handled, business moving forward, and also at the same point, try to help our small business community that's trying to stay afloat during this time. And we're trying to spotlight those businesses that are still open. And of course, we're encouraging social distancing, like Mayor Walker had mentioned, and we're trying to tell people, listen to the governor. If you got to go outside your house for supplies, try to limit that to maybe once a week and on an emergency basis. So, at the end of the day, I feel very confident with where we're at as a community. With what's really been cool over the last couple of days, Carrie, is that there's been so much doom and gloom that's associated with this, but I'm starting to see little acts of compassion that are popping up, and I think it's important that we talk about those as well.
Right, exactly. So, Mayor, your police and fires all good?
They are. We're working as normal. They've changed their operations a little bit to kind of cut down the interactions with the public to protect themselves and the public. We're sanitizing their vehicles, and we're keeping them socially distanced within the buildings. And at this point, they've been doing just an incredible job. And and every time there's a crisis, there's always heroes that step forward. And time again, we see it's our public safety officials and our police and our fire and our DPS crews. Once again, they're our first responders, and I know they're doing the same in Garden City, and they're doing it in Westland and the other communities. And it's just very impressive to watch these professionals day in, day out move the community through this challenge.
Yeah, they're definitely on the front lines, that's for sure. Well, council meetings, how are you handling those?
So our city council at their last meeting, this was before the governor changed the Open Meetings Act requirements. At that point, they canceled their next meeting. So our next city council meeting is scheduled for April 20th.
Okay.
I know our city council president's working with the city's IT department to try to get us in a position to do that council meeting using technology, kind of like what you have demonstrated here tonight. And I know a couple other communities have already done it, so we've got some best practices out there. But at this point, our next scheduled city council meeting is going to be on April 20th. And by canceling this council meeting, I think that may be the first time that's happened. It's hard to say in our city's history, which is 52 years. I've only been involved in the community for about 20, but in my time, I've never seen us cancel a study session or a council meeting. So just kind of shows you the situation that we're in today.
Yeah, it's really, times have really changed, that's for sure. We're getting a lot of great comments here. So grateful for all the first responders and all those still out there working. Absolutely. Great show, Carrie. Very informative. Needed some local information. Tried to local. Okay. All right. Thank you, Mayor. Let's get, I want to get a businessman in here now. We're going to get Mike Ferron in here. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing very well, Kerry. How are you doing?
Awesome. So, Mike, you and your wife, Opal, you're small business owners, and that's in Garden City, and you've owned Prestige Eyewear and Podium Skates for how long now?
Well, Prestige Eyewear has been there for 31 years, and Podium Skates for about 28. So,
wow.
Yeah.
You're also both residents of Garden City.
I grew up here. My folks moved here when I was 6 months old, so you could say I'm a lifer, yes.
Yeah, you're a lifer. Yeah, I know we've never seen anything like this in our lifetime, Mike. Share with us and our listeners just how this has affected you as a small business owner and as a resident, and what changes have you had to make?
Well, it's such an odd feeling. Opal and I rarely even take a vacation, so to be shut down and really nowhere to go is something that we've just never encountered before. What I do want to let everybody know is that if somebody has an eyeglass emergency, if they break their glasses or something like that happens, I will be more than happy to meet them and take care of their issues. All they have to do is leave a message on our voicemail at the store. I check that daily.
Okay.
And I've already had 2 of those this week.
Wow.
A lady called in, and her 82-year-old father had broken his glasses, and their provider had closed up and hadn't left a number to contact them or to do anything in an emergency.
Oh, wow.
So I was able to have her come in. We stood 6 feet apart at least.
Yep.
But I was able to find a frame that I could re-edge his lenses into and fit. And so this 82-year-old man has glasses to wear now.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome.
She was very grateful, very grateful.
So
we're delighted to be able to do things like that.
So the store itself isn't open, but you're accepting emergencies like that.
That's right. The store is closed. The door's locked. I'm up there a lot of mornings for any mail deliveries and things like that. But again, I do check the voicemail on a daily basis.
So
we'll get back to you right away.
So as a small business person, Mike, how long are you going to be able to weather this, you think? I mean,
well, Kerry, our situation's a little different. We've sacrificed a lot over the years in order to purchase our building a number of years ago. So we don't have to worry about paying rent, at least. And that's put us in a little better position than some of our fellow business people here in town. We can hang on for a while. I mean, we will hang on for as long as we need to.
Right. Let's hope it doesn't last that long, for sure.
Absolutely. Now, the figure skating business is certainly a non-essential business, especially with the rinks closed down.
Yeah.
But if you ask my figure skating mothers, the figure skating business is a truly essential business. So. However, they're being patient too, and I was able to reschedule everybody for whenever we open back up to for their new skates.
Still sharpen those skates for them, huh? And have them ready for when we do open back up.
Well, that's right. But again, we're closed by the governor's orders, so we're not doing any sharpenings right now or fittings or anything like that.
Okay. All right. So what advice would you give any of the small business people out there that are hurting right now?
Well, I'm hoping that the stimulus package that the government just passed or is in the process of passing will definitely help small businesses like ours and like so many others in Garden City and Westland and the whole area. I don't know the details yet. My dealings with the federal government in the past, the Small Business Administration, when we tried to get a loan many, many years ago, it was very confusing and there was a lot of hoops to jump through. I'm hoping that they can somehow simplify that process and make it a little easier this time.
Right.
And just get the aid to the businesses that need it so that when this does settle down, and it will, there'll be a whole lot of businesses ready to reopen and get back to work.
Yeah, they're chomping at the bit, I believe.
They absolutely are.
Yeah. I mean, this is, their bread and butter. This is their livelihood.
No matter what assistance we do get from the government, I'd much rather just be at work and taking care of my customers. That's what I love to do.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, they miss you too, according to some of the comments. I want to go back to Mayor Wild. Mayor, do we know the number of cases in Westland now?
No, Kerry, we just got some information from Wayne County a little bit earlier this evening, and the Westland number actually went up by 11 today. It's now 42. So there's 42 known positive cases in Westland. There's been no reported deaths at this point.
Okay.
But that number jumped up 11 today. So they're going up. I mean, obviously we're starting to see numbers around Wayne County go up. The numbers in Detroit are some of the highest we're seeing in the nation right now. But some of this is because we're starting to test more people. We kind of knew that the more people we tested, the more these numbers would go up. So I'm hoping to start seeing a stat on there that says how many people have recovered, because I think that's the stat that we're all waiting for.
Exactly. Yeah, I guess on the news conference today, Wayne County happened to be mentioned. That's one of the hot spots that they're keeping an eye on. So,
well, I think a lot of that carries because the tests are starting. You're seeing the Beaumont, you're seeing Garden City Hospital, you're seeing these folks step up.
Exactly.
Beaumont in Wayne earlier today, the whole hospital is going to be focused on COVID now. So the more that they're testing, and these numbers will go up. So I think we just have to kind of get through that portion of it.
Yeah.
Hopefully with the governor's recommendations, if people stick to it, we'll start to see those numbers go down or the recovery numbers start to rise.
And one of the main things is if you don't have the symptoms, don't get tested, right? I mean, isn't that really what they're saying? It's a gray area.
Yeah, we're not in a position yet where we can afford for people that aren't showing symptoms to be tested. The system's just, at this point, it doesn't have the capacity for that.
Right.
There's already starting to, the governor put out some stuff earlier today. I put it on my personal Facebook page, which is William R. Wild, that actually starts to direct people that, with your symptoms, they're not pushing everybody to be tested at this point.
Right.
So,
right. Yeah.
But it's changing daily, that's for sure.
I guess the main thing is just, stay home. If you're feeling sick, stay home for sure. But if you need to get tested or you need, it's really a gray area. It really is. It's hard to say, I mean, who are we to tell anybody not to get tested? I mean,
yeah,
that's a scary thing.
That's for sure. Well, the one thing I think that's pretty encouraging, and I know Mayor Walker talked about Garden City Hospital earlier, is that we're really blessed in this area to have great hospitals between Garden City Prime and St. Joe's and Beaumont. I mean, in our area, we in U of M Dearborn or U of M Ann Arbor, we really have access to great health care, and not every area of the country is as fortunate as we are. So I'd say we're very blessed for that.
Yeah. Steve Ray from the Garden City Fire Department just put up a Beaumont hotline. So if you have any questions there, you guys can contact that number. Mayor Walker, let me ask you the same thing. Do you know numbers as far as, cases in Garden City or any deaths that you're aware of?
I know of 4 in Garden City. Wayne County, the last numbers I got, which was last night, was 417, and I know that number went up, and 9 deaths in Wayne County, and the numbers keep going up now because the testing's coming back.
Right.
And this is the curve that we're trying to wait for it to start coming down. That is all the testing's being done, and you're right. Do not ask to get tested unless you have the symptoms. You're just wasting a test and taking resources away.
Yeah.
And they've asked, all the hospitals have asked, just make sure you have the symptoms before you even request the test. But I want to say a few more things while you got me back on here.
Yeah.
We have a great city. We're going to get through this. People just need to stay calm, stay courteous.
Yeah.
When you go shopping, don't hoard. Just take the items you need. Like I said, we'll get through it. And shop at your local businesses.
Yeah.
Give them your business.
A lot of them are doing carryouts, curb service.
I'm going to give you a couple stories. Garden City Cafe sent 50 meals to the nurses and doctors at Garden City Hospital the last 2 days. So that's 100 meals.
I also heard the UAW, I guess, did
Yep.
donation to the police department, huh? With hand sanitizer.
Hand sanitizers.
Yeah.
Pro Clean's offered to launder gowns and any stuff that could be sheets and pillowcases.
Yeah.
And they may be taking Pro Clean up on that. It's just different businesses, and just like Prestige Eyewear just did for that elderly gentleman had broken glasses.
Exactly.
There's so many stories of small Garden City businesses stepping up to the plate. So
that's what I was going to say. Always in times such as this, people seem to come closer together, but not this time, literally anyway.
Yeah.
But, they still want to help and contribute.
Yep.
Mayor Wild, how can your residents help? And, what are you hearing that's needed in your community?
That's a great question. So, early on, the Wayne West End School District really stepped up to the plate, and they're offering, free meals for families that are part of the system and the school system. So they're doing a good job taking care of the families. Meals on Wheels is still rolling at our Friendship Center in Westland and with our Jefferson Barnes Community Center in Norwayne. So, Meals on Wheels are still going well. We've been trying to find out what that missing piece is. I'm prepared to potentially open up City Hall as some sort of if it's a food bank or a dispensary or something where we can kind of collect things that are needed by the community and also distribute those. So we're still trying to really find out what exactly that missing piece is. So hopefully maybe by your show next week we could share a little bit more information with that.
Yeah, that sounds good. Tricia Cole says, I'm an RN and part of a national COVID-19 frontline team. Here's a wonderful resource. She put the link on the screen for you. So if you're interested in that, please do so. And thank you for your service, Tricia, that's for sure. We really appreciate it. Mayor, same question. What does, what's the city need that you know of? Anything?
Just need people to stay calm, do the social distancing. Don't gather in groups or crowds. Be courteous, shop local, stay safe, wash your hands. We'll get through this. I mean, that's what we all got to do. I mean,
exactly.
You can walk around the block, get some exercise, get fresh air, just, stay 6 feet apart.
Right. When they say social distancing, that doesn't mean that you can't socialize, otherwise. That means physically. You can still go out on your porch and talk to your neighbor across the street.
Well, my wife keeps knocking on the door. I'm eventually going to let her in, but I told her she got to.
Oh,
that's a joke. That's a joke.
Yeah. I'm sure she's going to appreciate that. Oh, Mike,
you gotta have
fun. As a small business owner, how can people help? How can we help?
Well, right now, Kerry, we can support the businesses that are still open, the restaurants here in town like Plato's and like Garden City Cafe, the hardware stores like Ace. These people are still working. They're still putting themselves at risk in order to take care of us. The least we can do is show our appreciation, support them, tip generously. And when things do return to semi-normal, let's really assess our buying habits and really try and support our independent small businesses, especially the independent ones here in town.
Yes.
Think about whether your purchases that are made at a national chain maybe could do more good for your small businesses in the city if you at least went in, talked to them, see what they have to offer, what their services are, what their prices are. You might really be surprised. Mm-hmm. I'd like to see people at least really make an effort to patronize their local community businesses when this does end.
Mm-hmm. Mayor Walker, somebody just reminded me in the comments that the parks have been closed and the playground equipment as well.
Oh, I totally forgot about it. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
We thought the kids would not be out there playing on them. We had signs, but today we actually closed the playground at the parks. And so if the police drive through and see them, they're going to tell the kids, go home. But the parents should know where their kids are at, and it's not safe to have them climbing on all those metal objects and maybe picking up germs and COVID-19 and bringing it home. So
Sure.
that's the social distancing that the parents need to control with the children. But we noticed that they were all over the equipment in the park. So today we closed the park down for the playground equipment. You hate to do that to the kids. They're out of school. They're bored. We get that, but it's our job as responsible adults to keep them safe.
Right.
And so not liking to do that, but we had to close down the playground equipment. So,
I have a question from one of the residents here. Rob Cox wants to know, does the Garden City Fire Department, do they still need bottles of water due to panic buying from the public? I know it was difficult for them to get their.
I would say they can always use it. I don't know how bad the need is, but you could definitely drop some cases by, and then if find out exactly what their needs are.
Mm-hmm.
And back to the police department, I wanted to mention earlier, we even have our sergeants on one floor and the patrolmen on another floor. We're separating to keep the social distancing even inside the building. So
Right.
I wanted to mention that as well.
Yes. Let's see. Mayor Wild, Mike Landau, Councilman Landau has something. I know a bunch of nurses that are willing to walk away from their families to fight this virus on the front lines, but have nowhere to go after their shift. We need hotels to step up. They don't want to endanger their families, but have nowhere else to go. This seems to be one of the biggest challenges they are facing right now. That's a great point.
That is a great point, and I appreciate Councilman Mike Landau for weighing in today. I know he's a big fan of your show.
Mm-hmm.
That is something. Westland and Garden City, we don't have hotels.
No.
So we don't have a phone we can pick up and put some pressure on. But
Right.
I got to think that it's an opportunity for these hotels, because I got to think that they got a lot of empty rooms right now.
Sure.
And I think it's an opportunity for them, and perhaps that now that today the governor declared a state of emergency, which should open up the avenue for some FEMA dollars coming into the state.
Yeah.
Maybe these hotels could be utilized as well. And it's something that Mayor Walker mentioned earlier about closing the ice arena and taking the ice down. I applaud him for that. That was very proactive, and we were thinking the same lines today. We closed our arena. It's been closed to the public for about a week and a half, but
Mm-hmm.
we made the decision today to go ahead and close it for the summer and get the ice out of there. With the thought process too is that we need to be prepared if we have to try to create a hospital within our city, a makeshift hospital. Where could we do that? And the ice arena was the place that we identified, just like Mayor Walker did. So.
Yeah.
It looks like in a short period of time, both of our communities will have a building that could potentially be put to use to help fight this virus.
Yeah. Well, that was a great idea by Mike. I like that idea for sure. Yeah, maybe we can get someone to put some pressure on these hotels if anyone's listening in the hotel industry. I don't know. But, yeah, we need to take care of our nurses in that. This is for all three of you. What is the best one piece of advice you can give our businesses and residents that has helped you through this difficult time? Mayor Walker, we'll start with you.
Well, I don't know. That's hard. I would say the best advice, stay home unless you got to go out. And if you go out, take all the necessary precautions to keep yourself safe. Wear rubber gloves if you got them. Have sanitizer in your pocket. Wash your hands frequently, especially when you get back home, and stay 6 feet apart.
Yeah. Mike, how about you?
Well, I had to go to the grocery store today, and it was fine. And as a matter of fact, it was a very good experience.
Okay.
Because all the other customers in there couldn't have been more polite. It was after you, no, you.
Really? Wow, that's
Absolutely. Everybody made a real effort to stay a good distance apart. I was quite shocked, actually, how cooperative everybody was. Everybody was smiling at each other and saying hello, and
wow.
but really trying to stay safe while they took care of what they needed to do. But the store employees couldn't have been nicer either.
Mhm.
From wiping down the cart, when arriving, to being pleasant and answering any questions, and it really was a very good experience under the circumstances.
And what store was that? Would you like to share that?
That was at the Kroger at Middlebelt and Warren today.
Middlebelt, Moore, and Kroger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Mayor Wild, how about you?
You know, I would just remind everybody, I think the biggest thing is we all just have to be smart. I mean, everybody's giving us the same information. You know, we've got to, stay in our house as much as we can. We need to, distance ourselves from other people. We need to wipe down things and sneeze into our arms. I mean, we're hearing that every day. So we know it at this point. Now we just have to exercise it. We just have to make sure that we're doing it. It's easy to be comfortable around, your coworkers if you're still working, or maybe if you go to a restaurant where you're comfortable. But at the end of the day, everybody is going home in different circles, and so we have to just be careful. It feels uncomfortable not shaking people's hands and things like that. But we're all in this together. That's how we're going to get through it. And for the small businesses, I would just tell them that, just hunker down.
Yeah.
Like Mike had said earlier, when you're dealing with the federal government for small business loans, that's extremely difficult. But just hang in there. We're going to get through this. We've gotten through tough times before, and if we're smart, we're safe. We're going to get through this too.
Yeah. Well, supposedly they're going to make it a little easier, I guess, for the small businesses too now. So let's hope so, huh?
Absolutely.
Tricia says, crucial to engage in everything to increase the strength of our immune systems, as well as practicing protective strategies mentioned. Right. Good information. Steve Ray, what's he say here? Take care of your mental health. Yeah, for sure. How do you tell the kids, how do you explain to the kids, how are they handling this? How's your family handling it, Mayor?
Well, I'll start off. So I have 3 children, and I have to tell you that they're actually handling a lot better than I thought they would. I have a son who's a senior, and it's just heartbreaking because we're seeing the end of his senior year just kind of evaporate, from spring breaks to, potentially proms and graduation ceremonies. And I mean, a lot of things that were planned are now,
right.
Just kind of evaporating. So it's a tough time. And imagine, it's probably harder on my wife than on my son, but at the end of the day, it's a lot for children to, to try to deal with. I think that I have 2 daughters too, and they're handling it well. I think that unfortunately our kids, they socialize through electronics and they can still do that. So I think that they're they're coping with having to stay at the house a little bit more than perhaps we would have when we were children.
Right.
But it's tough. We have to remember, there's a lot of scary things, and children hear things on social media, and if they listen to the national news, it's pretty scary stuff. So I think it's a great time for parents to really put their arms around their children, and we all just have to be safe, and that's what we're trying to do at our house.
Yeah, I really think this has really brought families closer together, for sure. I really have to agree with that.
We were lucky if we did dinner once a week. We're doing it every night now. It's really something we enjoy. It's nice. So
yeah, a regular kumbaya. Mayor Walker, what about your family? How they handling that?
Well, it's just me and the wife at the house. So we're staying in the house. We going bike riding, walking around the block. But we're eating meals at home every night, and we usually eat out at restaurants. So
yeah,
it's changed our lifestyle a little bit. But we're bonding. How about that?
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, you got to dig yourself out of that hole from that last guy.
I'm always in the hole. I'm always looking up to get out.
I second the motion there, Mayor. However, our 2 girls are golden retrievers, which is our kids. are loving the fact that we're home more.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
They're getting walked more, although they also come into the store every day with us.
Uh-huh.
And they do miss that. They miss seeing all the customers. They kind of look at me in the morning like, well, aren't we going? And the few times that I have taken them in when I've just gone up there to accept deliveries or take care of some things, reorganizing and so on, they kind of look around and say, well, where is everybody?
Mm-hmm.
So they miss it. We miss it. But hopefully it'll be over soon.
Yeah. Let's hope so. That's for sure. Well, look, I want to thank all of you for coming on tonight. I really appreciate it. The bottom line, continue to stay home if at all possible, especially if you're sick. Continue the social distancing, wash your hands, don't panic. Like the mayor said, don't hoard when you go shopping. Check on your neighbors and your seniors especially. That's real important too. And we're all in it together. We're all going to get through it together, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I want to thank all of you for coming on tonight. I hope you enjoyed it and you had some great information. Please stay safe, be well, and please keep in touch. I'm thinking of probably doing this again next week with any changes happening every day and hopefully some good news soon. So if you guys want to join me next week, you're welcome to do so as well.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Gary.
All right. You guys
Thank you.
take care. Have a great night and be safe. All right. All right. Great information. Good guess. Good information. All right. Let's get Joe Bartley in here now with some important tax news for you as far as the bailout program that they're working on. So let's listen to Joe and get him in here.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Tax Talk with Joe Bartley from J&J Taxes and More. Now, the coronavirus is shutting down life as we know it, and the government is attempting to stimulate the economy and help those that are in need of assistance. So we have the economic aid package. Now, just to be absolutely clear, nothing as of right now is official. The Senate did approve a package Wednesday night by a 96-0 vote, and the House is scheduled to vote on it Friday morning, and the president has said that he will sign it into law. Now, there's much speculation and many rumors on what the stimulus will be, but until it's actually signed, sealed, and delivered, it's all rumors. So the government feels America needs assistance during this time. Many businesses are laying off employees, and many that are working and getting their salaries reduced. That assistance is expected to come in the form of a cash payment for taxpayers. Now, most believe the magic number to receive this payment will be under $75,000 for single and $150,000 for a married couple. Now, taxpayers with higher income will receive less, and the topping out is rumored to be $99,000 for single and $198,000 for married. Now, that is said to be based on your 2018 tax return. So if you have not filed your 2018 tax return, you might want to get on that right away. Now, please keep a few things in mind. That this payout, however much it might be, whatever the latest rumor is, will most likely be taxable on next year's tax returns. And in other words, you'll have to claim it. Now, not only is this economic aid package giving taxpayers money, it's also creating programs. Lawmakers in the Senate and the House have been bombarded, of course, with the lobbyists and special interest groups trying to get a piece of the pie. Now, again, just to stress, as of right now, nothing is in stone. If you'd like to get the facts when they occur, please like my Facebook page, J&J Taxes and More. You won't read rumors, you won't read speculations, just the facts. And anyone that's over 50 years old probably has a Dragnet flashback right now. Now, if you need to get your 2018 taxes done, or even the current years, we can help. Now, we're not meeting clients face to face. However, there is a couple of options for you that we can safely prepare your taxes, including a client portal, a Dropbox, email, and in a pinch U.S. mail. So email me, and my email address is joe@j 523-8291, or like the J&J Taxes and More Facebook page and send me a private message. Now, if you're short on cash, we also have a program where we can have our fees taken directly out of your refund on current year's returns. Now, if you have questions, feel free to drop us an email or give us a call. Now, on a personal note, I want to thank all those that are working to keep us safe and fed. You're the real heroes and essential to
All right. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. Mayor Walker's back. I forgot you wanted to say something. You had some more information for us?
Yeah, a couple things.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mayor Wild's trying to give me credit for the ice rink. That was actually Councilwoman Kerwin's suggestion.
Okay.
And I contacted Saju George, and like he said, we may make that happen if he needs it. But got to give credit where credit is due, and that was Councilman Kerwin's idea to offer up the ice rink. And great idea, Councilwoman Kerwin, Mayor Pro Tem Kerwin. Then I got some good news to share.
Okay.
We talked a lot about COVID-19.
We can use some good news.
Yeah. So for the residents, you passed the road bond, and we passed the contracts last Monday at the council meeting. We are going to be doing $6 million in road improvements this summer.
Wow.
Should start up in April. It's all outside work, so I believe they'll still be able to, just like our DPW is doing outside work right now, out in fresh air. So even with this COVID-19, unless their employees get sick, but they can start the road work in April.
Awesome.
If you remember those lead leads, we originally had 71 of them.
Yes.
And the state said we had a complete 7%.
Right.
We completed 100%. We fixed all 71.
No.
Well, then as residents start checking their houses and calling for inspections, that 71 houses went up to 182 houses. And as of today, we've done 108 out of 182. So we're well above the 7%. And we're going to get all 182 of them. But I'm just wanted to let the residents know of the progress. The water in Garden City is completely safe. You can drink it. But I just wanted to give an update on where we're at on those lead leads. Awesome. We've done 108 out of 182.
Wow.
So
I know I've seen a lot of flags out. That's for sure.
Yep. So that's the good information I had. And like I said, everybody stay safe and look out for one another.
Yep, will do. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yep.
All right. You take care.
Take care. Thanks.
All right. Mayor Randy Walker. That's some good news for sure. All right. Remember, if you're interested in coming on the show as a guest who might be interested, if so, it's very easy. Just send us an email at gccommunitychat@gmail.com and we'll shoot you some available dates. And that's all there is to it. We can do the show remotely and safely, just like tonight. Maybe you own a business or belong to an organization. You'd like to share your information with us and the surrounding communities. If so, contact us today. Just email us or give us a call at 734-788-9319. And we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Let's see. We got any more comments in here? Boy, we had a great show. A lot of good people in there tonight. Good job. Yes, good job. Wall looks better. Thank you, Firefighter Steve, Lieutenant Steve Ray. Yes, I got a little bit. I ran out of frames, so there'll be some more behind me shortly. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. With that said, I think we're ready to call this a podcast. Special thanks to Westland Mayor William Wild, also Garden City Mayor Randy Walker, and businessman Mike Ferron, owner of Prestige Eyewear. Prestige Eyewear is located at 27854 Ford Road in Garden City. Their number is 734-525-1145. For all your eyewear needs, give them a call. And like Mike said tonight, if you have a emergency, just call that number, leave a message, and he will take care of you. Also, thanks to Mr. Joe Bartley from J&J Taxes and More. He's located at 29217 Ford Road in Garden City. If you'd like to contact Joe, call 734-523-8291. And thanks to my awesome co-host for tonight, Dr. Tom Iwinski. Fantastic job as always. And thanks to all of you for tuning in on Facebook, and also those of you that have downloaded the audio and are listening. We really appreciate your support each and every week. Be sure to view this video and past videos at your convenience, especially if you tuned in late tonight, by going to Facebook and our Facebook page at facebook.com/GCChat. We hope you'll check them out and feel free to share with your friends. Had some really good information tonight. Just click on the videos tab on the left side of our page and you'll see all our past videos as well. And please stop by our new website. I'm very proud of that website. My son Jason put it together for me. That's at gccommunitychat.com. Come out really, really nice. Also, a reminder, you can also download the audio of tonight's show by going to iHeartRadio. Search for GC Community Chat with Kerry Parton. So you can download our show, take it with you, listen in your car, or while you're working out at your favorite fitness center, or wherever you may be, we have you covered. Before I sign off, I just want to give a shout out to all of the healthcare workers, the nurses, the doctors, caregivers, our first responders, police and fire, grocery workers, mail carriers, pharmacy workers, everyone on the front lines of this terrible virus that serves us every day. We cannot thank you enough. Be safe, and we are thinking of you. And when you see any of these heroes, tell them thank you and that we appreciate them. Also, remember to be safe out there. Wash your hands frequently. Don't touch your face, cough into your arm. And if you are sick, please stay home and continue social distancing. I listened to Governor Cuomo from New York, and he feels that the social distancing looks like it's starting to work. So they need to bend that curve, that's for sure. We're trying to flatten that curve out. So if it's working, keep it up. You're doing a good job. Check on your neighbors, especially your elderly. If you're a young person, please take this seriously and practice your social distancing. This virus has no age limit. The seniors are more vulnerable, but it's hitting all the young people too. So you have to be very, very careful. You don't want to expose your parents or your grandparents or anyone else who has health issues. Be safe. We are all together in this, and we can do this. All right. Remember, the success of a community depends on the community. So please support your local businesses. A lot of businesses are still open. They're doing carry-outs, your restaurants. Please support them. They need you now more than ever. And if you see something, say something. Look out for one another out there. For all your weather information, be sure to head on over to drtomsweather.com. He's got a great user-friendly website. We will see you back here next Thursday, April 2nd, live at 8 p.m. So until then, thanks for listening. Be safe and have a great night. All right. Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you like this new format. I'm still getting used to it. It's a lot to keep track of, but I really appreciate all the great comments. And I'll see you next week. You guys take care and have a great night and be safe. See ya.